When people hear TTL in IPv4, they usually think it is just a small field in the header. But in reality, TTL is one of the most important survival mechanisms of the entire internet. Without it, packets could loop forever and destroy networks. So let's understand exactly how TTL works in IPv4 from the ground level. Inside every IPv4 packet, there is a header. That header contains important information like source IP address, destination IP address, protocol, and fragmentation details. Header checksum and TTL, time to live. TTL is an 8-bit field in the IPv4 header. Because it is 8 bits, the maximum possible value is 255. Suppose PC1 wants to communicate with PC2. PC1 sends an Ethernet frame toward the switch. The switch receives the frame and checks its MAC address table. If the switch already knows where the destination MAC address exists, it forwards the frame only through the correct interface. But what if the destination MAC address is unknown? Then the switch floods the frame out all ports except the incoming port. Broadcast traffic behaves the same way. For example, ARP requests are broadcasts. Suppose PC1 asks, who has gateway IP 192.168.1.1? The switch floods that ARP request everywhere inside the VLAN. Now let us understand what happens in a looped topology. Now, let's understand why this field is needed. Imagine two routers, router A and router B. Both routers have incorrect routing information. Router A thinks, to reach network X, send traffic to router B. At the same time, router B thinks, to reach network X, send traffic to router A. Now a packet enters the network. Router A forwards the packet to router B. Router B forwards it back to router A. Router A again forwards it to router B. And this process continues forever. This situation is called a routing loop. Without TTL, the packet would never die. It would endlessly consume bandwidth, router CPU, memory buffers, and network resources. Now imagine thousands of packets looping forever. The network would eventually become unstable. This is exactly the problem TTL solves. Now let's see the process step by step. Suppose your PC sends an IPv4 packet with TTL equals 8. The packet reaches router A. Router A checks the IPv4 header. It sees TTL equals 8. Before forwarding the packet, the router decreases the TTL by 1. Now TTL becomes 7. Then router A forwards the packet. The packet reaches router B. Router B again decreases TTL. Now TTL becomes 6. But because of the routing loop, router B sends the packet back to router A. Router A decreases TTL again. Now TTL becomes 5. Again, the packet goes to router B. TTL becomes 4. Then 3, 2, 1. Finally, a router receives the packet with TTL 1. The router reduces it by 1. Now TTL becomes 0. The moment TTL reaches 0, the router immediately discards the packet. The loop is broken automatically. That is how IPv4 prevents infinite packet circulation. Now here is another important part. When the router drops the packet because TTL expired, it usually sends an ICMP message back to the sender. Specifically, ICMP Time Exceeded. This message tells the source device, your packet was destroyed because its TTL reached 0. And this exact mechanism is used by the Traceroute command. Traceroute is actually built completely around IPv4 TTL behavior. Here is how Traceroute works. First, Traceroute sends a packet with TTL equals 1. The first router decreases TTL to 0, drops the packet, sends ICMP Time Exceeded back. Now Traceroute learns the identity of the first router. Next, Traceroute sends another packet, TTL equals 2. First router decreases it to 1 and forwards it. Second router decreases it to 0 and drops it. Again, ICMP Time Exceeded is sent. Now Traceroute discovers the second router. Then Traceroute sends TTL equals 3, TTL equals 4, TTL equals 5. And step by step, it discovers every router in the path. So the same IPv4 TTL mechanism that prevents routing loops is also used for path discovery. Now let's talk about where TTL exists in the IPv4 packet. The IPv4 header has multiple fields arranged in a specific structure. TTL is located right before the protocol field. Simplified IPv4 header layout, version, header length, DSCP, total length, identification, flags, fragment offset, TTL protocol, header checksum, source IP, destination IP. Every router processing the IPv4 packet must update the TTL field. And because the header changes, the router must also recalculate the IPv4 header checksum. This is important. Whenever TTL changes, checksum changes too. That is why routers perform checksum recalculation during packet forwarding. Now let's discuss why switches do not decrement TTL. A Layer 2 switch forwards frames using MAC addresses. It usually does not inspect or modify the IPv4 header deeply. Since TTL belongs to Layer 3, only routers performing IP forwarding decrement TTL. So switches, no TTL change. Routers, TTL decreases by 1. Now let's discuss something very interesting. Why do operating systems use different initial TTL values? Because TTL can also help identify operating systems. For example, if you receive a packet with TTL 63, there is a good chance the sender originally used TTL 64 and crossed one router. If you receive TTL 127, the sender probably used TTL 128. Network engineers and security tools sometimes use TTL patterns for OS fingerprinting and troubleshooting. Now imagine IPv4 had no TTL field. A routing loop between ISPs could create endless traffic storms. Packets would never disappear. Routers would continuously process useless traffic forever. Bandwidth would be wasted permanently. TTL acts like a self-destruct counter inside every IPv4 packet. No matter how broken the routing becomes, the packet cannot survive forever. That single field protects the stability of the internet every second. And the fascinating part is this: every website you open, every video you stream, every ping you send relies on this tiny IPv4 field, silently preventing infinite loops across the internet. An 8-bit field, but one of the most important protections ever designed in computer networking. Thanks for watching this video. You can reach out to us through Instagram and Telegram for mock interview scheduling and network interview guidance. See you in the next video. Happy learning!